Welcome to The Deep Dive. We cut through the noise to get you the insights that matter in tech. And today, wow, we're diving into something with really seismic implications for semiconductors. Elon Musk, Tesla, they've confirmed this massive, $16.5 billion deal with Samsung for next-gen AI chips. Now, this isn't, just your standard supply agreement. Anyone watching chips knows this is strategic, big time, could really reshape things.
That's exactly right. This deal really puts a spotlight on, well, a very intense, very long-running competition. We're talking the two giants, South Korea's Samsung and Taiwan's TSMC. And the chips themselves, they're the super advanced AI chips, right? The brains behind self-driving cars, robotics, all that AI data center stuff.
Yeah.
So understanding this, it's not just business rivalry. It's about where tech is actually going. Our mission today, let's really unpack this deal, see what it means for the battle for who makes the most advanced chips.
Okay, so huge deal. More than just a contract. Let's peel back the layers then. What exactly is in this deal, and why is it causing such a stir in an industry that, let's be honest, is used to big numbers?
Okay, so the core of it. Samsung gets this contract, $16.5 billion. That's about, 22.76 trillion Korean won from Tesla, and specifically for their AI6 chips. The deal runs quite long, too, until the end of December 2033. But here's where it gets really interesting. Elon Musk himself hinted the actual output could be, quote, several times higher.
Several times higher on top of 16.5 billion. That's staggering. That kind of long-term view from Tesla suggests a really deep strategic bet on Samsung, doesn't it? How does this AI6 chip fit into their current strategy? Because I know they use both Samsung and TSMC now.
Yeah, they do. So right now, Samsung makes Tesla's AI4 chips. Those are the ones in autopilot. But their AI5 chips, those actually come from TSMC, Samsung's big competitor. The key change here is these new AI6 chips. The next step up in AI power for Tesla, they're going to be exclusively made by Samsung. So yeah, it's a big consolidation for really key future tech onto Samsung.
And the location, that seems really important too, strategically for Tesla. It's not just being made anywhere, right?
Absolutely not. The location is a cornerstone of this whole thing. These AI6 chips, they'll be made at Samsung's brand new plant in Taylor, Texas, right here in the U.S. And this plant got, $4.74 billion in funding from the U.S. CGPS Act?
Right.
Which shows, it lines up with the U.S. government wanting more chip production domestically. And Samsung itself is planning to pour over $37 billion into this place by 2030. It should be up and running in 2026.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more than a contract. It's a statement about where high-tech manufacturing is headed.
And Musk's personal involvement, promising to walk the line personally, that sounds like more than just signing checks. What's that signal?
It signals pretty much everything. I mean, it's an unusually deep commitment from him personally, saying he'll walk the line personally to accelerate the pace of progress on efficiency and cost reduction. That's not just talk. It really underlines how absolutely critical these AI6 chips are for Tesla's whole vision. He's basically saying, this is so vital, I'm going to be hands-on to make sure it works.
So, okay, maybe some cost savings, efficiency, but what's the deeper strategic reason Tesla picked Samsung for something this vital? What's the long-term play for Tesla itself?
It's really about securing the brainpower, right? For their big vision of becoming a full-stack AI robotics enterprise, that's their term. These AI6 chips, they need to power everything. Dojo AI data centers, autonomous cars, even those Optimus humanoid robots. And Tesla knows it needs to diversify its supply chain, reduce dependence on just one company, especially someone like NVIDIA, whose best AI chips are mostly made by TSMC.
Right.
So it's about managing costs, avoiding delays, sure, but it's also about having more control over their own tech destiny. And conveniently, it fits perfectly with that U.S. push for domestic chip making.
Okay, this is clearly a massive win for Samsung, a potential turning point maybe. But to really get what this means, we need to look back at the history, at the shadow TSMC has cast. It's been a tough fight for Samsung against them, hasn't it? What's the backstory there? How did TSMC get so far ahead?
Oh, absolutely. This rivalry goes way back, decades. TSMC started in '87, and they basically invented this model, the pure play foundry, meaning they only make chips that other companies design. They don't design their own competing chips. And that was crucial. It got rid of any conflict of interest. Customers felt safe giving them their secret designs. That built enormous trust.
And that trust, plus the focus, turned into just total market dominance. Yeah. How dominant are we talking?
We're talking absolutely commanding. TSMC holds something like, 67, almost 68% of the foundry market, compared to Samsung's, like under 8% in Q1 2025. It's stark. Think about the big names driving AI, Apple, NVIDIA, AMD. They all rely heavily on TSMC for their most advanced stuff. Back in 2019, Taiwan, mostly TSMC, made something like 92% of all the really cutting-edge chips globally, the ones below 10 nanometers. They just consistently led on the tech side. And they're 2-nanometer production. That's supposed to start volume production later this year.
So TSMC's got the pure play model, the tech lead. What about Samsung? They're huge, obviously, tons of resources, great tech themselves. Why this struggle to catch up?
Well, Samsung's different. They're an IDM integrated device manufacturer, meaning they design their own chips like the Exynos and Galaxy phones, and they offer manufacturing services to others.
Right, so they compete with their potential customers.
Exactly. And while that seems versatile, it creates that conflict of interest problem we mentioned. If you're, say, Apple or Qualcomm, designing your next killer chip, do you really want to hand the blueprints over to a direct competitor like Samsung?
Yeah.
That hesitation's been a real persistent challenge for Samsung's foundry side.
That makes total sense. You don't give your playbook to the other team. Did that conflict, plus maybe other issues, lead to actual technical problems or customer losses for them?
It absolutely did. It's been a significant struggle. Samsung was actually first to mass-produce 3-nanometer chips back in June 2022, using that gate-all-around tech. But reports quickly surfaced about worse than expected yield and performance, and lower power efficiency too, maybe 10–20% less efficient than TSMC's version.
Ouch.
Yeah. Imagine like launching a rocket, but the fuel's just a bit off. Still flies, but not optimally. So initially, those 3-nanometer chips ended up in niche markets like crypto mining, not the big, high-volume stuff they really wanted.
So performance issues, conflict of interest, that basically pushed key customers right over to TSMC.
Pretty much, yeah. They lost big orders. Google switched its Tensor chip from Samsung to TSMC after the 4th gen. Qualcomm moved its Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 over to TSMC too. Another huge loss.
Wow.
And that hurts. Samsung's foundry business has reportedly lost billions annually in recent years. They've struggled to land those really big anchor customers you need for scale and profit.
Okay, so bringing it back to this Tesla deal, is this finally Samsung's chance? Can they really challenge TSMC now, especially in this crucial 2-nanometer race? Feels like a redemption moment.
It really does feel like that. And Samsung is clearly going all in on 2-nanometer. They're planning to use their own 2-nanometer Exynos chips in the Galaxy S26 phone in 2026. And critically, this Tesla AI 6 chip, built on Samsung's 2-nanometer gate-all-around process, GAA.
GAA, right. Can you remind us quickly what that is?
Sure. So think of transistors on a chip like tiny switches. Traditional ones are kind of flat. GAA technology wraps the control part, the gate, around the channel on all 4 sides.
Okay.
That gives engineers much better control over the electricity flowing through, which means big improvements in power efficiency and performance. Exactly what you need for these power-hungry AI chips. So GAA is a key technology bet for Samsung.
And the yields, how are they looking for 2-nanometer GAA? Because like you said, that was a big problem for 3-nanometer. Tesla's not going to accept the 30% yield, surely.
No, absolutely not. And you're right. That's the core challenge. This Tesla deal is seen as a big vote of confidence in Samsung's improving yields. Reports suggest their 2-nanometer GAA yield has climbed from, well, paltry numbers initially, up to maybe 30–40% now.
Okay, that's better, but...
Right. Better, but Tesla reportedly needs something like 60–70% yield for these AI 6 chips to make economic sense. So Samsung's got a ways to go still, but they are targeting 60% or higher at that Taylor plant once they get new equipment in next year. It's a hurdle, but they seem confident they can clear it.
And if they do hit those targets, this deal could seriously change the game for Samsung in AI hardware, couldn't it? What a massive strategic opening.
It's potentially huge for them. Strategic redemption, like you said. It gives them long-term relevance in AI hardware, a chance to prove they can make these super complex chips reliably at scale. If they succeed, it could really change perceptions, maybe lure back customers like Qualcomm, maybe even Apple someday. Analysts think it could boost their foundry growth by maybe 10%, help finally turn those losses into profits.
Sounds incredibly promising for Samsung. But these chip transitions, they take time, right? What's the real timeline here? And what's TSMC doing while all this happens? They can't be just standing still.
No, definitely not standing still. And you're right about the timeline. Even with the deal signed, it takes time. Getting these AI 6 chips from design to actual mass production, it's likely at least 1 to 2 years. So significant money from this deal probably won't hit Samsung's bottom line until maybe 2028.
Okay, 2028.
And TSMC. They're pushing ahead, aiming for their own 2-nanometer volume production later this year, 2025. And reports say their yield might already be around 70%.
Wow.
So yeah, well, the Tesla deal challenges TSMC's dominance, especially in the U.S. market with that Texas plant. TSMC's own Arizona plants are also ramping up. 4 millimeters now, 2 millimeter planned. They are not slowing down.
This feels like more than just companies competing now. It feels bigger almost, geopolitical.
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely bigger forces at play. This whole competition is supercharged by national strategies, especially the U.S. CHEPS Act. The goal isn't just competition for competition's sake. It's a direct response to, supply chain worries we saw recently. It's strategic, making sure critical tech like this is made in diverse locations, secure locations. Remember the chip shortages during the pandemic? This is about preventing that kind of vulnerability.
Right, building resilience.
Exactly. It's not just about who wins market share. It's framed as a battle for technological sovereignty.